What's up, everybody? Once again, it's Brand Man Shine on a Saturday morning. What's up? Now, check this out. A couple of things I got to talk about. One, how to get more people to listen to your music, like for real. And also, Instagram, Facebook. I got to talk about it. I don't know if you guys had a problem that I had this week, but I got to talk about it. Had a big problem and it was annoying. Now, first of all, how to get more people to listen to your music. About a year ago, I dropped this thing called Master Music Networking Guide. I get success stories from it all the time. People are always telling me how I helped them out, specific situations, getting them in big rooms with big names and getting them certain deals and sponsorships and all that good stuff. Cool. But one thing that I dropped with Master Music Networking Guide was this free bonus. It was available free to like people who got it early on, but now I have it available free to everybody. I'll put a link to that in the description below. It's something called Get More People to Listen to Your Music, right? And it's basically this. I'll paint the picture. If you have, if you're walking down the street, right, and there's somebody trying to get you to listen to matter of fact, I'll do this. Back when I was in college, I remember I'll be walking down the street and there'll be some people on the corner trying to get you to sign up to donate to kids in Africa. Maybe like 15 cents a day or $1 a day, whatever the number was, right? And you know, you're not trying to listen to people who are trying to sell you anything on the street. You just don't have time. You're not planning for this. I don't feel like stopping and talking forever and having this conversation. However, there's a tactic to get those people to stop more likely, at least make them more likely to do so. What is that tactic? Well, as opposed to, hey, excuse me, sir, I would love to talk to you about these kids in Africa or whatever the pitch was. You start with, excuse me, sir, I'm working on this and such. Do you mind if I have 10 seconds of your time to talk about it? Or do you mind if I have 30 seconds of your time to talk about it? What does that one thing do? That allows you to get people's undivided attention for a certain period of time. That's one thing, but it also even creates a commitment, a small commitment. And psychologically, what that small commitment does is make people more likely to actually give you their undivided attention for a smaller period of time. Because when it just sounds like, oh, we're going to be talking, that just sounds like a lot. And I don't really want to talk to you. I don't want to have a conversation. But you know what? 10 seconds and you'll leave me alone. 30 seconds and you'll leave me alone. That doesn't sound that big of a deal. So instead of people fighting because most people don't want to be confrontational, they'll stop and they'll listen, right? And the same thing I've used back in the day in sales jobs, cold calling people. Excuse me, sir, do you mind if I have 60 seconds of your time, 45 seconds of your time, and I'll let you go about your day. You know, like things like that. And what does this have to do with music? Well, first of all, musicians back in the day when we didn't have all this internet stuff and people were hustling in the streets, I've seen them use very similar tactics, right? And I talk about this and I walk through how to do this specifically in the Get More People to Listen to Your Music Guide. People have hit me up on how that worked with them. But I'm talking about how to do this through DMs. You don't even have to go and ask people like straight up, but just literally like in the real world, you can do this through your DMs. What's so important about this is you got to realize this exists already. Everybody's aware of it. You just might not be using it. Think about YouTube. YouTube has these videos that you can skip, and they force you to listen to at least 5 seconds or watch at least 5 seconds because they know in this period of time, hey, look, you got your undivided attention. Like, I just want your undivided attention for 5 seconds. And in that 5 seconds, they're trying to hook you to listen to more of the ad. And really, YouTube is super aware, though, that 5 seconds, like, we can't charge people on that. But after 30 seconds, that's when they actually charge you for an ad. Right? Well, it depends on specific ad programs. So don't generalize that to every single thing. But traditionally, when they first started doing their TrueView ads, it would force people to watch at least 5 seconds before they're allowed to skip. It'd be the advertiser's job to try to hook them a little bit longer for even more seconds. But then after 30 seconds, YouTube allows people to listen, then charges you because it's your job in that period of time where you have their undivided attention to convince them to listen to more. So how do you really utilize that for yourself? Like I said, I break it down even more specifically if you can't just listen to this video and figure it out yourself, because there's more layers to this as well. Just check it out, brandmansean.com/get more people to listen. That link is in the description below, but it's all a little finesse, and that's my point though, right? It was called the Finesse Guide, the Master Music Networking Guide. I also call it the Finesse Guide. Why? Because finesse is strategy, finesse is patience, finesse is not luck like a lot of people think, or just some huge or a random lie. It's a combination of things, like, to be for real. The best story of finesse, like so many of you guys, y'all have to listen. If y'all have not listened to this story, I actually linked to this in the Master Music Networking Guide as well. There's a story by a guy known by the name of Elijah Watkins, man. It's I'll put a link to it in the description below, but he finessed his way into Complex Con for free, and he worked with Pharrell. And this guy, like, his lifetime dream was like to work with Pharrell. He did all these things in the same day, completely off of finesse. If you don't believe me, listen to the story. He has a SoundCloud podcast where he just walks through the entire story, and it's a good listen all the way through. It's like maybe like 40 minutes, but it's a good listen all the way through. I promise you that. Check that video out. It'll inspire you to do whatever you need to do, and finesse your way into your certain situations for yourself. Now, with those things aside, check this out. This week, Instagram, Facebook, a lot of people weren't able to use it. It might not have happened to you, but I was one of the people that it happened to. And there was a couple of other people I knew it happened to, but then there was a lot of people that I knew that it didn't happen to. But it was literally down. Facebook and Instagram, I could not use it for maybe about, it might have been like 14 hours for me. Right? That's the problem. We always talk about these platforms aren't your own. You don't own these platforms, right? And we always talk about how if this platform drops, do you still have a business? And it's not like I'm completely relying on Facebook and Instagram, but I'm like, yo, I gotta get this post off. Like, I'm trying to let people know, like, there's some posts that I want to put out, some things that I want to talk about. It's some things I want to share. And I got people in my DMs that I was supposed to get back to, and I couldn't do any of that. Facebook, I was working on, literally, people have been asking me about creating a ad program and just breaking down really how to become an expert at Facebook ads. I was working on that day too. My literally that day revolved completely around Facebook and Instagram for me, and I couldn't use either of them. And it just messed my day up. So just remember, man, collecting emails is real. Using your own, getting people to get onto your own platforms and your websites and things like that is real. Collecting people's numbers and other information is real. Not just using Facebook and Instagram, but using YouTube, right? And using Twitter, just as backups, right? Even if it's not your main, just having other points of contact is a very real thing. So keep that in mind, because I went through it for real this week, and it sounds like this post-apocalyptic, well, no, not even post. It sounds like this apocalyptic situation, right? Like, that'll never happen. But in its own way, it happened to me for like 14 hours, and it was trash, and it was annoying. So I'm glad that I have a YouTube page, and I'm glad that I have emails. You know, everybody doesn't follow my email list, but I'm glad I have a fair share of people who follow my email list that I can talk to if I need to, and get back out to if I need to. Figure out whatever your own way is to do it, but at some point, right, if you're just trying to come up now, I know it's harder to focus on things like this, but as you develop, and if you have some sense of a fan base already, and you're already getting the ball rolling, you need to start focusing on bringing things in-house, bringing your audience in-house, getting closer direct contact and information with your audience. Keep it in mind. So for real thing, man, like, straight up, like I said, this is it actually happened to me, and boy, it was annoying. Other than that, hey, y'all have a great day. Great Saturday, great weekend, all that good stuff. I think it's like St. Patrick's Day or something like that. My homeboy brought home a green Krispy Kreme donut. Never seen that before. Green on the inside, green on the outside. That thing look ugly. But once again, y'all have a good weekend. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you like, you might as well share it. And if you're not subscribed, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button.